Dub, I believe when we left off last time, I was talking about I did my first drive by after my homeboy L got killed. Now, after that, I was 13 years old and I was doing the usual, hanging around the neighborhood, drinking Old English, smoking Sherm, and I was sneaking doing it because it was taboo back then. But, my day consists of, just hanging with the homies and looking for something to get into. People that we felt was weak or didn't belong over there, we beat them up, stuff like that. And I had a gun, so I like playing with it, and I like robbing people. So many occasions, when people came over there to buy crack, I rob them, get the money, go buy me a sherm stick, get high, and do my thing. And I was 13 years old. It never dawned on me that I wasn't even giving myself a chance to develop. I didn't care, you know. And I can recall myself, being out 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, getting in shootouts with Bloods and other people, I was in a foray. And, a lot of people my age wasn't involved in gangs or out in the streets like that. But being my, sheepdog son, people, basically, I don't know, they just let me do what I wanted to do. And I was exposed to things I shouldn't have been exposed to. And my behavior was reflecting something of a real troubled youth. But nevertheless, I remember this one incident. I was up all night. Me and my homeboy, I got a homie named, his name Tweakmaster, and we was, he had this green LTD, and we was rolling around, and we were just robbing people all night. I was, jumping out the car on people, pointing my pistol at them, going in their pockets, taking their money, doing all this. And we did it all night, and we were just drinking and robbing. And so as the sun started to come up, I started getting tired. And so we went over his house, and I was sitting at the table, and I remember putting my gun on the table, and I was like dozing off. And I was like, I don't want to doze off over here because it'd be all kind of crackheads and all that stuff coming over there. So I was like, that's what I'm not finna do. So I'm not, I say, you know what, hey homie, I'm finna go home, right? And he was like, all right, I'm gonna holler at you later. Won't you leave that pistol? I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But I'll come back up over here and, kick it. So, the sun, it was about 6:30, almost 7 in the morning. So I leave his house and I'm walking up the street. And I'm like, I'm so like out of it because I've been drinking and smoking and just into all kind of mischief, And I was walking up the street, man, and I remember the street I was walking up is called McGuire, and McGuire is a street that ran in my neighborhood, which is Gershon Park, and it's a street that ran through multiple sides. It's like a real long street. And when I was walking up McGuire, I seen Metro, the police, go, across the way, because McGuire went straight and then it went across. So I was like, damn, nigga, one time. I ain't paying no attention because they were so far over there. I was like, maybe they just gonna go hit Holcomb and just leave. So I kept walking. But instead of the police leaving, it made it came around because it was an island in the street. So the police came around. And as I was walking up the street, man, lo and behold, the police hit the corner on me, man. I was like, oh, shit. So I immediately sober up, like, fuck. But I got on gang attire. I got on a green Boston Celtics hat, green shirt, green Dickies, green spot belts. I look like I'm in the gang, but I'm young, though. So I'm thinking, he might not even mess with me, right? So, but I look guilty. I'm walking toward the car, so he driving slowly. And all of a sudden, he just sped up and he parked his car, like aimed it toward me. And I had a gun on me, and I reached in my waistband to grab my gun. And when I grabbed it, I tried to pull it out and throw it. But the hammer got caught on my underwear. And when I pulled the gun out, the police jumped out his car and he had me dead aim. And he said, "Don't move." And I threw the gun, but I threw it so ugly and it ripped my underwear that it just went like 5 feet over there. And when I threw it, it said clack, 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 clack. And me and the police just looked like this here. And the gun was just like right there. But he had the gun pointed right at my noodle. He could have just knocked me down right there and got away with it. I was 13 years old when that happened. That was one incident in my life that I could have got killed by the police, but I didn't. But I came that close at the age of 13, and when the police came and they had me in handcuffs and they put me in a car, and he realized that I was 13 years old. I'll never forget this police. His name was Officer Sutton. And he was so disgruntled because he realized I just almost killed a 13-year-old kid. Back then, police actually had compassion. I don't know what's going on nowadays, and I'm not finna get into that right now. But back then, the police, he was so disgruntled, they had to call the fire department for him to sit him down, to calm him down, because he almost killed a 13-year-old child, which was me, because I had a gun and I tried to throw it, and he could have popped me. But what happened was I ended up going right back to the place I hung myself, which was Nevada Youth Training Center in Elko. And when I went back up there, I was a little bit more older, angrier, violent. So when I went up there, it was more ruckus. But let me say this. During my time, before I went back, it was a gang forming in Northtown. See, some members from my neighborhood, Charlie Boy, Foo, Dread Mac, they went down to Northtown and met up with some guys by the name of Dan Lowe, and Dog, Lump, Al Wack, and all them. And they formed what was known as Donner Street Crip. This happened back in 1987. Yeah, late 87, early 88. And we used to go down there. It wasn't that many of them. But the reason why that we formed an alliance with them is because members from our neighborhood went down there and helped them form what became known as the Donner Street Crips, because back before they were Donner Street Crips, they were known as GQs, and we didn't like that. But when they became Donner Street Crips, the fact of the matter is some of our homeboys helped created that, so it had like an alliance with us. So when I went back to Elko for the second time, the Donner Street Crips was just coming out. Okay? And when the Donner Street Crips came out, they were making noise. And an incident took place. I'm going to get to that on the next one. My life story is slow, it's complex, but it get real bloody. A lot of people died. And I'm finna talk about the second killing. The first one was my homeboy L. Desay, which I spoke on. The second one is going to be Boo Boo Swanson, Boo Love from Donner Street, who got killed by the Rolling 60s. You're going to see how everything going to come and fold when I get through. Just stick with me. It's going to be a long ride, but it's a book that I'm verbally telling you. So instead of reading it, you get to listen to it from the mouth of the horse. I'm going to talk about some things that's going to be uncomfortable, like this killing of Boo Boo Swanson, which started the wrath of the Donner Street Crips, which became the second biggest gang in Las Vegas. And we were their allies. But you will learn, if you stay with me, we became their arch enemies because of me. Until then, from the ground up.